All right, y'all, stand back because I don't want you to get burned by these scorching hot takes I'm about to drop. Zack Snyder movies are mostly not good. If you're not supposed to use it, there shouldn't be a popcorn button on the microwave. People on the left who say Joe Biden is no different than a Republican are just as clueless and embarrassingly wrong as people on the right who say Mitt Romney is no different than a Democrat. Cobra Kai is a good show, an unironically good show, not a so bad it's good show, but a good show. And William Zabka should have been nominated for an Emmy for playing Johnny for season 1. And the fact that he wasn't is an atrocity. And no, it is not an overstatement to use that word. And Donald Trump lost the presidential election, and the Republicans need to get over it. The Biden presidency is a foregone conclusion. No matter how hard they may try, no matter how nakedly, openly, blatantly they may try to subvert democracy and throw out millions and millions of legal votes in order to save Trump and get him a totally illegitimate second term, those efforts are doomed to fail. So why are they doing it? They're doing it because they are up for re-election in 2 years and 4 years, and the people that they will need to vote for them are people who Donald Trump has convinced that the election was illegitimate, that Joe Biden only won because the Democrats cheated. They have bought into Trump's narrative, hook, line, and sinker, that this election was fraudulent. And in order for these Republican Congress people and senators to have a hope of being reelected, when they come up for re-election in a couple of years, they need to play along. They need to do what Trump wants them to do. They need to further this narrative that, oh, there was so much voter fraud and we need to investigate it, and we can't just allow this. We can't allow Biden and the Democrats to steal this election. But some of them are true believers. I honestly think that some of them are true believers. Most of them know that this is horseshit, and they're just going along with it because they feel that the future of their political careers depends on not pissing off and alienating Trump voters. It reminds me a little bit of the situation that some of the shitty sort of reactionary, like Gamergator, anti-feminist, alt-right or alt-right adjacent YouTubers have found themselves in the past several years. It seems like every couple of months, one of these shitty reactionary YouTubers will post something either in a video or more likely on Twitter, and it's kind of within a few hundred miles of reasonable, and they will be savaged by their audience. Their followers who are used to getting the reactionary shit from them will just jump all over them and will attack them. And usually what will happen is they will demur. They will backpedal and say, oh, come on, I'm sorry, guys, you're right, blah, blah, blah. Or I was just expressing an opinion. Don't worry, I haven't become one of them. And there'll always be people from my side of things who will say, oh, isn't it a shame? They've become a prisoner of their audience. Even if they do grow and change as a person, they can't ever break out of that because they've built their brand and they've built their career on appealing to these reactionary, ignorant, right-wing people. And now that they have come to expect anti-feminism and racism and sort of, not usually out and out support of white supremacy, but like kind of low-key indirect support of white supremacy. Once that's all been established as their thing, and that's what their audience knows and expects from them, well, they're powerless to change it. They're trapped. Oh, they're trapped. They're trapped by their audiences. And I just do not, maybe I'm just a callous, cruel person. I don't know. Maybe that's just a part of my personality. I think it is kind of a little bit. I do not understand this impulse to sympathize with them. I really don't. I really don't. Because whose fault is it? It's their fault. It's 100% their fault. It's not like they were just innocently making videos about nothing in particular, and for some reason, completely unrelated to the content they were creating, they just happened to attract this audience of racists and trolls and abusers. And now that they no longer want that audience, they're stuck. Well, guess what? Fuck them. That's their bed that they made, and now they have to sleep in it, and I have absolutely no pity for them in my heart whatsoever. And that is exactly the same way that I feel about Republicans, who might be a little privately concerned or embarrassed about the fact that their political future rests on them having to affirm this utterly ridiculous, baseless conspiracy theory that Trump is pushing about how Biden stole the election and there were illegal votes that were dumped in the middle of the night in Pennsylvania and Michigan, and that's why he lost the election. I have absolutely no pity for the Republicans who find themselves in that situation. You know why? Same reason I have no pity for those shitty assholes on YouTube, because just as they on YouTube cultivated the shitty audience that now supposedly traps them and keeps them from moving on and making more progressive, more open-minded content, as if that's something they're even sincerely interested in doing, which I don't believe for a second, by the way, the Republicans are stuck with the base that they have been cultivating for the last 50 years. Ever since the 1960s, ever since Barry Goldwater and Richard Nixon, the Republican Party has been courting angry, racist, white people and telling them that black people and women and immigrants and other minority groups, LGBTQ people, people with disabilities, people of minority religions, all of the others, all of those people, all of the out groups, they're who are to blame. They're the ones who are ruining your lives and destroying the country, and they're the ones that want to take things from you. They want to take things from you that rightfully belong to you, and they're here to steal them. And now they believe that those people and their enablers in the Democratic Party have stolen the presidency, have stolen the 2020 election, and Joe Biden will now be the president thanks to those people. And they believe that, and they believe that because that is the story that the Republican Party has been encouraging them to believe for the last 50 years. I have no pity for you fuckers. This is the bed that you made. This is the party that you made. These are the voters that you wanted, that you courted, and you have been telling them to be happy in their ignorance, to be justified in their bigotry, giving them more things to be afraid of than they were already afraid of. And this is completely your fault. I have absolutely no pity for you whatsoever, because it's not Trump's fault. It's not the fault of his ignorant voters. It's your fault for courting those voters. And now that you're stuck with them, and now that you have allowed them and pushed them to go so far over the edge that if you don't have them, you won't have anybody else because nobody else wants to associate with them. You've completely cut yourself off from moderates and other sort of reasonable people who might have been fooled by your bullshit economic theories, right? That you might have gotten to vote for you like Reagan did and like the Bushes did, right? You've cut yourself off from them. You need the Trump people now or you have no chance. And that's your fault. I feel absolutely no pity for you whatsoever. And in fact, I think it's kind of funny. And it makes me happy. And I don't think that's going along with the little bit of cruelty that I have in my personality or the little bit of callousness in my personality. I think that's just the fact that, you know, I enjoy a good show. And I enjoy seeing people who so richly deserve a comeuppance actually fucking getting it for once.